Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Vision podcast. I'm John, and I am so happy you are joining us today.
And I'm Sarah. Hello, everyone. We are really excited to have you here for another lesson.
Today, we are going to talk about a situation that we all experience, but one that can actually be quite stressful if you're learning English.
That is completely true. Today, we are talking about eating out at a restaurant. I love food, but I have to admit, I used to panic when the waiter walked over to my table. My mind would just go completely blank.
That is so common, Sarah. So many English learners feel that exact same way. When you're hungry, the restaurant is busy, and a waiter is standing over you waiting for your answer. It is easy to forget every English word you know.
Yes, exactly. I used to just point at the menu and say, "This one, please." It worked, but I wanted to speak more naturally.
Well, today we are going to fix that. We are going to walk through a complete restaurant experience. By the end of this episode, you will know how to order food, ask for changes to your meal politely, describe the flavors you're eating, and talk to your friends at the table. Let us start at the very beginning. You walk through the restaurant door. What is the first thing you say?
Usually, a person standing at the front asks, "How many people are with me?" I always say, "Two people, please." Is there a better way to say this?
Saying two people please is perfectly fine, and everyone will understand you. However, a slightly more natural phrase you will hear native speakers use is a table for two, please. You just say table for and then add the number of people.
A table for two, please, or a table for four, please. That is very easy to remember. Then we sit down and the waiter hands us the menu. Sometimes the menu is huge and I do not know what to choose. How can I ask the waiter for help?
That is a great question. You can ask the waiter for a recommendation. A recommendation is a suggestion about what is good. You can look at the waiter and ask, "What do you recommend?" Or you can ask, "What is your most popular dish?"
What do you recommend? I really like that. It sounds polite and natural. What if I want to know what a specific word on the menu means? For example, sometimes I see the word savory, but I only know the words sweet and salty.
Savory is a very useful English word. In English, we often divide food into two main categories: sweet things like cakes, chocolate, and fruit, and savory things. Savory means food that is salty or spicy, not sweet. Meat, cheese, bread, and vegetables are usually savory.
Oh, I understand now. So a pizza is savory and ice cream is sweet.
Exactly. You have got it perfectly. What other words do you use to describe food, Sarah?
I use spicy a lot because I love spicy food. Sometimes I use sour, like a lemon. But what about how the food feels in your mouth? I struggle with finding the right words for that.
You mean the texture? Texture is the word we use for how food feels when you bite it or chew it. Let us learn a few good texture words. Crispy is a very common one. Crispy food is hard on the outside and makes a nice cracking sound when you bite it. Fried chicken or fresh potato chips are crispy.
Crispy. I love crispy French fries. What is the opposite of crispy? What if the food is very soft?
If food is very soft and easy to cut or chew, we usually call it tender. We use the word tender mostly when we talk about meat. If a steak is cooked perfectly and is very easy to eat, you say, "This steak is very tender."
And if the meat is bad and hard to chew?
Good question. The opposite of tender is tough. If you have to chew your steak for a long time, the meat is tough.
Okay, so we have crispy, tender, and tough. Let us go back to ordering our food. This is the scary part for me. How do I actually tell the waiter what I want?
The most natural and polite way to order your food is to say, "I will have," or "I would like." For example, "I will have the chicken salad," or "I would like the pasta, please."
I will have the chicken salad. That is much better than just saying, "Give me the chicken."
Yes, saying, "Give me" sounds a little bit rude in English. We always want to use phrases like "I will have" or "Could I get?"
What if I need to change something about the meal? Sometimes I want a dish, but I do not want onions because I do not like them. How do I ask them to remove the onions without being rude?
The trick here is to use polite questions instead of commands. Instead of saying, Do not give me onions. You can say, could I get that without onions? Or you can say, can you leave out the onions?
Could I get that without onions? Can you leave out the onions? That makes sense. What if I want to change one item for another item? Like the meal comes with fries, but I want a salad instead.
In that situation, you want to ask to swap or substitute. You can say, is it possible to swap the fries for a salad? Or simply, can I get a salad instead of fries?
Can I get a salad instead of fries? I will definitely use that. I try to eat healthy, so I often ask how the food is cooked, but sometimes I mix up the cooking words.
Let us review the basic cooking verbs. It is very helpful to know these when you read a menu. The most common ones are fried, grilled, baked, roasted, and steamed.
Fried means cooked in a lot of hot oil, right? Like fried chicken.
Correct. Grilled means cooked over an open fire or hot metal bars, usually giving the food dark lines. Baked usually refers to breads, cakes, or potatoes cooked inside an oven. Roasted is also cooked inside an oven, but we usually use the word roasted for meat or vegetables, like roasted chicken or roasted carrots.
And steamed means cooked with hot water vapor, right? Like steamed rice or steamed broccoli.
You know your cooking words perfectly, Sarah. Steamed is usually the healthiest option. So, now we have ordered our food politely, we have customized our meal, and we know exactly how it is cooked. Let us imagine the food arrives at the table. You're eating with your friends. What is a natural way to talk about the food?
I usually just say, this is good, but I want to sound more advanced.
Instead of just saying it is good, you can use stronger adjectives. You can say, this is delicious or this is amazing. If you want to talk about the flavor, you can say, this has so much flavor.
Can I use the words we learned earlier? Like this chicken is so tender and the skin is very crispy.
That is a perfect sentence. Your friends would be very impressed with that English. Another great phrase to use with friends is you have to try this. If you're eating something amazing and you want to share, just offer them a bite and say, you have to try this. It is delicious.
I like that. We share food a lot in my culture. Okay, so we ate the food, the plates are empty, now we have to pay. How do I ask for the paper that tells me how much money I owe?
The paper is called the bill or the check. Both words mean the exact same thing. When you're ready to pay, you make eye contact with the waiter and ask, can we get the bill, please? Or, could we have the check, please?
Could we have the check, please? And what if I'm eating with my friend and we want to pay separately, half and half?
That happens all the time. When the waiter brings the bill, you can simply ask, can we split the bill? Splitting the bill means dividing the cost between the people at the table.
Can we split the bill? That is very useful. What if I want to be nice and pay for everything? My friend is having a birthday and I want to buy her dinner.
That is very kind of you. If you want to pay for everything, you can look at your friend and say, I have got this. Or you can use a very common idiom and say, it is on me. Saying it is on me means I will pay for this meal.
It is on me. I love that phrase. It sounds very natural and friendly.
It really does. So let us do a quick review of the whole process. First, you walk in and ask for a table for two. Then you look at the menu and ask the waiter, what do you recommend?
Then I order by saying, I will have the grilled chicken, please. And if I want to change, I say, can I get a salad instead of fries?
Excellent. When the food arrives, you enjoy the savory flavors, the crispy or tender textures, and you tell your friends, this is delicious, you have to try this.
And finally, when we are finished, I ask the waiter, could we have the check, please? And I tell my friend, put your money away, it is on me.
Sarah, you are ready to eat at any English-speaking restaurant in the world. You sounded like a native speaker.
Thank you, John. I feel much more confident now. I will not panic the next time a waiter asks me what I want. I hope our listeners feel more confident today, too.
I'm sure they do. Practice these phrases the next time you go out to eat, even if you just practice them in your head. Thank you all for listening to the English Vision podcast. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and we will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone, and happy eating.